In 1984, the dead body of a Roman Catholic priest was found in a water reservoir in central Poland. Several of his teeth had been knocked out, 6 ribs broken, an ear and his tongue were torn out, his nose smashed. The young priest had been so severely tortured and brutalized, his features were unrecognizable. Father 𝗏𝐵 was murdered by the secret police of the Communist Party. His crime? By daring to speak the truth out loud, he gave people the resolve to stand up against communism.
Rola księdza jest taka, by głosić prawdę i za prawdę cierpieć, jeżeli trzeba, nawet za prawdę oddać życie.
His brutal murder is one of countless examples of the innate hatred communist totalitarianism has for the Catholic Church. Communism and Christianity are intrinsically incompatible. Marx stated that communism begins from the outset with atheism. Every communist regime attempts to purge the faith of its people, and that is why every communist takeover is inevitably followed by the persecution of the Church. In Poland, in 1945, after the Soviet-backed communists took over, things were no different. The communists set about weakening and attacking the Church in this Catholic country. However, despite their efforts, the communists were unable to take control of the Polish Church, which maintained an unequivocally anti-communist stance and stood as the only official opponent of the communist regime for decades. The Poles, often encouraged or assisted by the Church, chose to resist communism every single step of the way. Many courageous priests sustained the faith and inspired that fight against communism, such as Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński, the spiritual father of the nation who was referred to as the uncrowned King of Poland. Pope John Paul II appealed to his countrymen to not be afraid, reigniting resistance and sparking the formation of solidarity. Father 𝐏𝐵 spoke about fundamental human rights, justice, and freedom in his powerful sermons. Those courageous priests faced communist tanks and troops with a weapon far more powerful, a message about man's God-given dignity and inner freedom. So if you ever find your rights being trampled and your freedoms being stripped away, remember that the courage to speak the truth is the greatest weapon against totalitarian regimes.